Alright, everybody. It's Kodokumugen here. We're gonna be starting the next stream, drawing stream. Hopefully there shouldn't be any problems with the lights this time. So yeah, I'm gonna let time go by a little bit and then we're gonna start. Alright. What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's Kodokumugen here, and yeah, we're gonna continue from where we left off last stream. So yeah, we lost a little bit of progress because, of course, you know, lights went out, but it wasn't that bad. It's not that big of a deal. We didn't lose that much progress, so it's fine. Just wait a minute. I'm putting on the headphones. Okay, here we go. There we go. All right. Now let's get to it. Ah, shoot. All right. So, what layer am I on right now? What am I drawing on this one? I see. All right. This one. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna try to actually stay consistent in the same layer, like Nokotan in one layer and Koshi in the other this time. It doesn't matter if, you know, it's kind of messy because, you know, this is just the blueprint for the actual final drawing. So yeah, it's fine if I screw up here and there or it just doesn't look that good. It's fine. I feel like in the last streams I was kind of trying to make it look good on the first try, but it doesn't have to. It's not the final drawing. It's just like, yeah, like a blueprint, like how I've been calling it. Yeah. Wait, no, I don't like that. Sure, maybe. Let's go with that. All right. Flip the canvas. Maybe I could. There we go. Wait. Okay. Wait, no. Yeah, there we go. Again. I don't want the fingers to look too much like sausages. You know, I want them to look, you know, kind of, you know, how they do it in the anime. They look, well, they look like fingers, but not just any kind of fingers. They look like girly fingers. Like, they look somewhat delicate. And that's how I want them to look. I want them to look like sausages. right? So many layers. Okay, yeah, not bad, not bad. Let's go with this part. I don't know, I'm just kind of what is it called? I'm just kind of guessing where things should be. I don't know. You know, I'm not an expert artist or anything like that. I'm just, you know, a hobbyist. I just kind of do this because I like doing it. Let's look at the reference just to make sure. Yeah, okay, that's what I thought. So there's like, oh wait a second. Right, her shirt is loose. It doesn't enter the skirt. It doesn't go inside the skirt. It's just loose like that. All right. Wait, no. All right. Silencing my phone. No distractions. Hopefully there shouldn't be any distractions. I hate distractions. Speaking of distractions, man, yesterday I had to go to like a family thing, and you know, my family is alright. They're nice people. It's a big family, you know, and lots of friends too. But I'm just not really the style. I'm not really that kind of guy. So I don't know. I just kind of struggle through interactions. I mean, I'm definitely way better than I was, I don't know, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. I mean, yeah, definitely. I mean, I can actually communicate. But still, you know, I can't help but feel awkward and just with a big pressure to always, you know, being able to just respond. And whenever I can't respond to something, or I just kind of respond in an awkward way, which, I mean, like, there's a lot of pressure. I always go through a lot of pressure when, especially with my family. That's, you know, I mean, okay, with other people too. But I've noticed lately, this past few years, that with new people, it's not a big deal. Well, I mean, it is, but it's easier for me to just let loose with, you know, with other people. But with my family, I don't know. I guess it's like the expectation. They've known me as one kind of person for so long that it's hard for me to, how to say this, hard for me to just act how, well, I would really want to act, you know. It's harder. I mean, it's still hard with other people, but it's definitely easier when compared to my family. So, you know, I can never really feel comfortable around my family, which is fine because I don't even see them that often. So, yeah. I guess it's not a big deal. Still though, every time I go to those things, you know, I am able to have some fun. It's not like it's just pure suffering, but it's definitely not for me, I gotta say. I don't hate them or anything like that, but it's not really my thing, not really my style. And you know, my dad, you know, still live with my dad, he's always, you know, bothering me about, you know, having to interact with other people. And I mean, I do think he's right, you know, like, I don't think the way I am is necessarily the best, you know, how I just kind of, you know, I'm able to interact with people, but I'm not really that committed. I'm not really committed in any way. because I don't know, I always just feel like kind of awkward. I can't be myself. I always feel like I'm just kind of in a constant pressure, and I can't help but just feel like it. Like feel that way. It's not like oh well, just act different. Well, yeah. I mean, I would if I could. I would if I could. Which is the reason why for a while I was kind of drinking when I was younger. Not anymore, but I would drink a lot. I mean, even today, when I don't drink often, but when I do, alcohol, of course. But when I do drink, I drink a lot. Why? Well, because I'm looking to get drunk. Like, I don't just drink because I like drinking. I don't like drinking, actually, which is the reason why I don't do it often. I don't like drinking. And I don't like the taste of alcohol. I really don't. But the drinks I like most are the ones that can kind of make the ones that take away that taste, the alcohol taste, and it just kind of feels like a soft drink, like a soda or something, or juice. Yeah, I drink a lot because I'm looking to get drunk, because when I'm drunk I feel like I can be more myself. Unfortunately though, being myself means I'm obnoxious. I turn into a really obnoxious person, which is like a polar opposite of how I normally am with people. And that's why my dad, especially my dad, but I mean in general, people, I mean, they don't criticize me for it. They actually think it's fun because they see me having fun, but my dad criticizes me for it because he sees me acting completely different, and he thinks that I just kind of act like a completely different person. But I've told him that no, I mean, I just kind of feel like that's how I really would act if I could. But I don't know if it's that he doesn't believe me, or maybe he does believe me, but he knows that it's just not really healthy to look at it that way, which I agree though. Like if that is the case, I know that is the case, but I don't know if he also believes me that I can actually be myself when I'm drunk. Either way, I'm not doing it anymore so much. I mean still, whenever I drink a lot, and that hasn't really changed. But yeah, thankfully, and I'm not like an addict to it or anything. I'm not an alcoholic. I just, when I drink a lot, but that's because I just want to get drunk. I don't drink for the sake of it. I don't drink because I like drinking. Again, I do not like drinking. I do not like the taste at all. I just want to get drunk so I can feel like I can be myself for at least a couple of hours. Unfortunately though, I can normally be myself when I'm alone. So, I realize that drinking alone is just kind of useless. Kind of, because, yeah, I mean, like not a lot changes. Because, again, like when I'm alone, I can pretty much be myself. It's when I'm around other people. So basically what I mean is, I should drink only with other people. If I'm gonna drink alone, then there's not really much. I mean, it's not that fun. It doesn't suck, but it's just nowhere near as fun. So the reason I don't like interactions with people is not because I don't like people necessarily, although it's true that they do get on my nerves pretty easily. But more than anything, that's okay. But to be fair, that's also partly my fault because and again, it might sound like I'm one of those he must be fun at parties kind of guy, which okay, fair, maybe that is true, but that is because when somebody makes a joke, most of the time I don't answer back. I don't clap back, if you will. I just kind of laugh awkwardly, so they can just shut up and get done with it. I don't, and it's not like I don't want to clap back. I do, but I just don't. I don't know. I don't know, I guess just the pressure just kind of makes my mind go blank for a couple of seconds, and that is enough for me to realize that, okay, well, even if I came up with something to say, if I said it now, it would be just kind of awkward and just cringe, because the moment passed, like the moment I had to say the joke or the response already passed. So if I said it now, it would just be kind of sad, sad or cringe or whatever. So yeah, it'd be like that. It's fine though, again, I don't hate my family or anything like that. Oh, well, that's wild. No, I do not, but like, I do hate family gatherings, family meetings, even if it is to help a family member, which that was the case. Like, it wasn't just a family gathering for the sake of gathering, it was, for the sake of a family member, which, I'm gonna be real with you, and it might make me sound like a jerk, and I think that's fine. I'm not really looking to be the best person in the world. I realized that a long time ago that trying to be that is just kind of terrible. If I'm gonna be a little selfish sometimes, I'm gonna do it. That's just how it is. If it wasn't for my dad, I probably wouldn't have gone there, even if it is to help a family member. I don't, and again, I have nothing against a family member. In fact, I do wish he's well and he continues to do well, but I just don't think I care enough. I feel like if it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't have gone there. I never would have gone there, probably. But again, no hate. It's just a thing of, I just want to be unbothered, just have fun, and study if I have to study. Though, to be fair, I don't like studying. However, now I have, at the very least, I'm aware that I have to study. I mean, it's not like I didn't know I had to study. Of course, I always knew I had to study, but I guess the gravity of not studying never really came to mind until just recently, when I realized that maybe I should be studying, because if I don't study, then I'm gonna do poorly at school. Well, not school. I mean, I'm already out of school years by now, but like, basically a career. And now, of course, I know that, having a career isn't really setting yourself up, for success necessarily. Sure, it's gonna help you out, maybe, to increase your chances, especially in my country, because I feel like, especially in the US, it's different. Like, if we're talking with the US, that's definitely much less the case. But in my country, a degree is still much more important, than having, like, if a company has a chance to choose someone who has and doesn't have a degree, they're gonna choose the guy that has a degree. Here, things still work that way, which is a good and a bad. Is both a good and a bad thing. A bad thing because, well, obviously that means that you have to go to college, unless you just want to, have the shittiest job ever. Well, if you're even able to get it, if you're even able to get it. But yeah, but I'm just really studying for the sake of being able to afford to do what I actually want to do. I don't want to work like my life goal isn't to just work a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life. In fact, quite the opposite. I'm just trying to, be set with that, just with a stable career at first. Save that money and maybe invest it somewhere, and either just all different kinds of investing options, whatever alternatives, till I can, meanwhile I'm developing my skills to do what I actually want to do, which is, well, to be honest, it's what I'm doing now. I just want to, and I mean, for years, since I was a little kid, I've wanted to be a YouTuber, wanted to be a content creator, but I could never. I mean, I've done it multiple times. I've tried multiple times, but I always end up giving up. I feel like I'm just not. I don't think I had the right mindset, but I think I have it now. Especially as a streamer, and that, my inspiration to want to be a streamer specifically instead of just a YouTube video maker, although I do want to make videos in the future, are VTubers. I was talking about VTubers. I wanted to. Okay, actually, I don't remember if I talked about VTubers in my streams, my last streams. Maybe I did, but whatever. If I didn't, or if I didn't enough, well, yeah, obviously. Well, there you go. I am a big VTuber fan, but not any kind of VTuber. I'm a helloo VTuber fan, which to some people might sound like the normie answer, kind of. And especially if I say that Gouda is my favorite of all time. She's my goat. That also probably sounds very normie, like, oh yeah, of course, the most popular VTuber ever with over 4 million subs is your favorite, of course. Normie, tourist, or whatever you want to call me. No, but that's not what it is. It's just, I've been following her since 2020, 2 weeks after she debuted with the rest of Myth, and been following her ever since. I also then eventually found out about her previous life, which I knew nothing about, and that was also fun to find out about. I don't think, back then when people would talk so much more about forbidden knowledge, was it forbidden knowledge, or was that another? I mean, forbidden knowledge is another name for it, but I didn't think that was the actual term for it. Whatever. The point is, I like the Gouda, and her previous content was also a lot of fun to watch. And yeah, I've been following her ever since, new generations have come from Ian too. Ian, from Council Risk to then Promise, and then Justice. Well, no, Advent, and then Justice now. And there's also the Helloo Boys, Helloo Stars, which, say what you want about them. I'm cool with them. I don't watch them, but I don't have a problem with them. Like many people do. I just don't watch them. But that's it. Yeah, I mean, I do watch every now and then some of them, especially if they do a collab with one of the girls, like they did now with Herb. But anyway, kind of really sidetracked. Well, I mean, I guess there really is no track. The only real track is the drawing. I mean, the whole point of the stream is not to talk about something specific, is it? It's to make the drawing, which is looking okay. It's not the final drawing, but this is how it's looking. It's not terrible. I wanted, though, now I remember that I wanted to, wait, what the, oh, well, fine, whatever. I wanted to see, originally my idea, when I first came up with the idea for this drawing, I wanted Nokotan to be like putting her finger and touching Koshi's cheek here. But unfortunately, then when I drew the hair, I realized that I couldn't do that, because I mean it would look kind of weird, because she'd be like pushing her hair, you know, her hair strand. So now what I'm thinking, what I was thinking off camera, was that maybe instead of pointing, she could be holding a deer cracker, like she's trying to feed Koshi deer crackers. You know, which yeah, I mean, I guess now I realize that maybe wouldn't make too much sense, I guess, since Koshi pretty much, Nokotan has already kind of accepted Koshi as the keeper of the deer, not the deer itself. So I don't know, maybe she just wanted to. Well, I mean, to be fair, she did try to feed Koshi deer crackers in the first episode, so maybe it does make sense. Yeah, maybe let's say, I don't know, like Koshi was really intrigued as to why is it that the deer crackers are so popular. Like everybody, including the fans, they could even make like a joke about that. Like, oh, even the fans are starting to fans are starting to buy deer crackers now to taste them, and they say it's terrible, but it reminds them of the show, so they eat them anyway. That would be a funny little dumb joke they could do, maybe. I don't know. Writing staff, hire me. I'm kidding. Yeah, she could be holding a shikasembe, some deer crackers. A shikasembe? She could be holding shikasembe, not like plural. Yeah. There we go. Wait, what is that? What is that? What are those dots? Oh, okay. I know, you know, I said I wanted to keep consistency on, like, okay, I'm gonna draw Noko on one layer and Koshi on the other, but clearly I already kind of failed that, but it's fine. It's fine. Like I said, it's not the final drawing anyway, so it's not a big deal. Not that big of a deal. Anyway, though, how do I draw shikasembe? How do I draw deer crackers? I'm gonna use another layer for this, maybe. How do I frame it? Like, because I don't know, the way her fingers are positioned kind of makes me think this is not gonna work. I feel like I'm gonna have to change the way her fingers are positioned. I don't think this works, this position. Like, how could I make this work? Like, how could she be holding deer crackers like that? It doesn't make much sense. But okay, let's see. Let's just try. So say she has something like this, right? And there's and then it goes like this. Maybe, I don't know. It does look kind of odd though. But let's see. I'm gonna make this part. All right, fine. Let's see. How does that look? Well, I mean, right now it doesn't look like anything, but I mean, I guess once I color them, a fan should be able to tell that these are deer crackers, right? Yeah. Maybe I should make it bigger though. A little bigger. Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they're kind of bigger. Not too big, but they're a little bigger than that in the show, I think. I may be wrong, but I think something like that. I don't know if I made them bigger, actually. I'm gonna check. Yeah, I did. Okay. Just wanted to just see if I did. Alright, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, sure. I mean, it does look a little odd though. This kind of, it doesn't look that natural, this hand position. Like, it doesn't look like she's so, I mean, it kind of looks like she's holding it, or more like she's just putting her hands over it. I don't know, it's a little weird, I will admit. But you know what? I don't care. This is an animated show. I don't think, and this is a, yeah, I don't think logic makes that much sense anyway, so it's fine. And this is a ship, a shippy drawing anyway, and you know, ships don't make much sense anyway, so like, who cares? Who cares? Right? Yeah. But yeah, that's a good, okay. That's a good drawing. I'm gonna merge the layers to make my life easier now. Merge with layer below. Alright. Now let's get to the fun part, kind of. Well, it's not really fun, to be honest. It's actually kind of annoying. This is the part when we actually draw how the drawing is actually gonna look. The most tedious part, actually. The part that is hardest, the hardest part of the drawing. Because, like, I don't even know how okay, I'm gonna check. Yeah, I mean, like in the show, you don't really have much of a difference. I mean, that's the case with almost all anime. The lines are always just kind of one size. The lines, you know, it doesn't have yeah, all the lines are the same size or same width or whatever. Maybe I could do it like that. Maybe I could just not have size, like a size difference to it, and just have it be always the same size. Maybe I'm thinking about it. Maybe I will. Yeah. Okay, so how did you change this? I do not remember anymore. Okay, there we go. So now it shouldn't change. Yeah, it's always the same. Okay. It's a little more boring, I will admit, but it's easier for me, for one. And also, hey, I mean, it's anime accurate. So that's my excuse. Like, well, it doesn't have much, if somebody says, well, the drawing doesn't have much line, what is it? Line work difference, or however you want to call that. I don't know. I don't know much about drawing techniques and names, technical names for them. I'm not an expert by any means. I'm just a person who likes to draw every now and then. Line variety or whatever you want to call it. Well, my response to that is Mr. Critique, Mr. Art Critique. I am being anime accurate. Yeah, I'm just gonna leave like the lines like that, and I'm gonna delete them later. Tell you what. I'm gonna check this part just to make sure. Wait, no. Yes. All right. Maybe it's a little higher though. Maybe. Well, I don't know. Let's see. Let's check again. I just really want to make sure that I draw this correctly enough, at least. Yeah. Maybe like this. This. Yeah, by the way, I am using how do you say this? Stabilization. I am using stabilization, so yeah, that's why the lines look decent. Yeah, I was gonna say good, but decent. That's why they look decent. yeah, but this is my technique, or at least the technique I'm gonna go with. Just gonna leave it like this, and then afterwards I'm gonna delete the lines. Yeah, the other side. Wait, did I draw it? No, it's okay. Okay, so on this side it's different. It's more like this. Yep. And then it goes like this. And then it goes like this. There we go. And then it goes up. Yeah, and it goes really up. Like this. Like this. Does that look good? Well, it looks good enough, I think. Sure. I mean, I can't really tell, to be honest. It just looks like a bunch of scribbles. But it's fine. Surely, it will look good eventually. Anyway, how's your evening? Yeah, I got nowhere else, nothing else to say. But well, no, that's not true. I always have something to say to myself. See, this is the greatness that actually is streaming. Once you realize that you don't need to be entertaining. Well, I mean, you can. Well, once you, I mean, obviously, people are not gonna watch if they're not entertained. So you have to be at least somewhat entertaining. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, there's always gonna be somebody who's interested in what you're talking about. I mean, hopefully, as long as you're actually talking about something that has some meaning to it, you know, you're not just, I don't know, referencing memes every 5 seconds. And hey, there's nothing wrong with memes, don't get me wrong. And I like the obnoxious meme references. I mean, that's why I like this show. But, you know, you can't be like that all the time. Even the show isn't like that all the time. Lots of times it's, you know, and this is a criticism that people have given the show, which I think I already talked about this, but the fact that, you know, not every second in the show is a joke. In fact, there's lots of times when the show feels like, well, pretty much like any other show, any other slice of life, schoolgirl anime. You know, at times it feels just like that. But the next scene, it goes back to being obnoxious, or just doing a funny meme or something, you know. And yeah, that's pretty much how it goes with content creators. It's kind of like a constant. Most of the time, you're not really gonna be funny, so expecting yourself to be funny all the time or entertaining all the time is just, that's gonna kill your enthusiasm to stream, because you're gonna be like feeling the pressure of wanting to be entertaining the whole time, when in reality all you have to do is, well, yeah, talk about something, but you have to not just talk for the sake of talking. You know, you have to say something. And I mean, yeah, no shit, right? But what I'm trying to say is something with at least a little substance to it, not just ridiculous memes all the time. Again, you can, you know, there's a lot of streamers that are really obnoxious, you know, and they make even VTubers who are constantly just making meme references and stuff like that, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's their style. It's just that personally, I'm, at least for now, while I like that type of content, I don't think I would be able to provide that type of content for like a whole hour. Like, you gotta keep that in mind. Like, sure, I could do that like for like 10 minutes, or like if we're talking about a whole like a whole hour stream, maybe I could give you a total count of 10 to 15 minutes worth of just pure meme funny moments. But for the most part, I'm probably just gonna be a pretty standard guy talking about anime or VTubers or something else, or just his life, like I've been doing, like this stream. In fact, I would say, I mean, I definitely have to say I'm a lot more relaxed than I was the last two streams. Why? Because now I feel like I'm actually doing it. I'm talking to myself the way I normally talk to myself. See, because I'm kind of like a loner in many ways, which I think I already pretty much made clear with my comments on my family. You know, I've been used to just being alone a lot of the time. So, especially as a kid, I needed entertainment, and yeah, obviously I had to be. It's not like we didn't have to be. We did, but there were also other times when, you know, I didn't just want to watch TV. So what did I do? Well, I talked to myself, both negatively and positively. And it's not like an imaginary friend, though. Like, I'm not saying that I had an imaginary friend who I talked to. It was literally just me. It would feel like that. I never felt like I was talking to another person. In fact, I do this till now. Like, I still do it. You know, obviously now I keep in mind that there's people around, so I don't do it in front of other people. Obviously, I'm not an idiot. But I still do it. I still talk to myself, and it's, you know, to a certain extent, I guess it's kind of therapeutic. However, more than anything, it's just, you know, a good way to get different perspectives, not without having to ask another person about their opinion, because I don't want to do that. I just kind of put myself in a different position, a different perspective. It's not always that, though, you know, or, well, yeah, maybe part of me. Oh, yeah, this is a good example from when I was younger. When I would get bad grades, and well, of course, my parents would find out, and I would get grounded, you know, without TV. No, without going out, because again, I wouldn't go out with anybody. So, you know, my life was TV. The TV. The internet already existed, but I didn't have internet access till, well, I mean, I guess till I was 6. Well, no, maybe a little older, maybe like 8. However, I only really got full access to the internet till I was 11. But ever since, you know, it's just full on access to the internet. I mean, the internet is my life now. Just how it was. TV used to be my life when I was younger. Now it's the internet. I will admit, and I do not feel proud about this. Keep this in mind. I'm not saying it as a joke, and much less as, you know, to be proud about it. I definitely have to say that I am addicted to the internet, and I was addicted to TV when I was younger. Yeah, it's not a good thing, but, you know, there's still positive things about it, at least. You know, it's not like being an alcoholic. Like, what good thing could you take out of it? Well, I mean, I guess in my case, like I said before, you know, when I'm drunk, I can be myself in much more ways. I can just say what I have in mind, but I don't, you know, it's still me, so I'm still not gonna be stupid enough to say something that I know I shouldn't say. But there's still a lot of things that I know I can say, but I still don't say them normally, simply because I'm just embarrassed to say it. But when I'm drunk, I say it because, well, of course I know that it's not a big deal if I actually say it. And at the same time, I'm drunk, so it kind of inhibits that part of my brain that is constantly checking to see what I'm saying and what I'm not saying. Yeah, it's a little annoying, and people who don't have social anxiety in any way or really don't understand, like, the pressure. They really don't get the pressure. For a lot of people it's just extremely easy, and it also might sound like we're just kind of complaining for the sake of complaining, or like we're being like, yeah, like, man, you love to complain, man, you have life so easy, you live in a house, we're living in a time where we don't even have to hunt to survive or anything like that, and you're out here complaining about social anxiety, just not being able to be yourself in a conversation. But the thing is, a person who doesn't have this problem probably takes for granted the fact that they can just be themselves during a conversation, when a person like me would pay a lot of money to be able to get to that point where we can just say whatever we want. You don't know what you like. Yeah, I definitely think people who don't have that kind of problem just kind of live like that. They don't have those kind of problems. We can't possibly understand that kind of struggle. And they probably also just don't understand how bad it is that we can't. Or maybe they do. Maybe they do understand. Maybe they understand better than us how bad it is that we can't communicate normally. Because I'm definitely not the kind of person who is just gonna... I don't feel proud of my social anxiety. And a lot of people, I've seen the internet kind of romanticize the whole aspect of social anxiety, or like, when a person is talking about these kind of concepts, people are instantly go, oh, that's so me, oh, for real, and all that cringe internet lingo that I know too well. But I still, but then you realize that this internet lingo is purely internet lingo. You're not actually making any sense. Yeah, like the meme, like, you're not making any sense. Yeah, like that. But for real. Kill me. But yeah, like, it's been... people have become so accustomed to seeing other people be the same way that we just kind of like to make jokes about it. And like, whenever there's a streamer, or especially a VTuber, and they talk about their social struggles, everyone is like, same, for real, that's so me, and all that. Which, I mean, I get it, that is probably true, but at the same time, I don't know, I feel like at this point we've come to a moment when people are just kind of romanticizing that kind of thing. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't think it's a bad thing that people can feel whatever they feel about how they are. I'm still gonna make jokes about my social anxiety, just like anybody else would on the internet. And also, like characters like Bochi, or freaking what is it, Tanuki Goji-san from this show, from Shikanoko Nokonoko Koshitantan. They're characters that are, well, it's obviously a lot more than just social anxiety. It's actually not social anxiety. In fact, it's a lot more just being negative as hell. But in many ways, social anxiety is also that. In many ways, most social anxiety comes from negativity coming from your own mind. Not always, of course, and it's not like, sometimes people say it that way, and they kind of paint the picture of a person who is constantly talking down to themselves, and like, the moment a conversation comes, oh, here we go again, you're gonna be fumbling with words, and oh, you worthless piece of crap. But obviously in reality it isn't really like that, or maybe it is for some people, but for me it isn't normally. For me, it's more like I just kind of my mind goes blank, and when it stops being blank, when I actually realize what I'm doing and what I'm doing wrong, I can only really be aware of that, and like it kind of, I think about it, but I'm not even insulting myself or anything like that. Maybe that's just because I'm like in a better mind space than I was years ago. I do remember that when I was a kid, and I mean like 6 or younger than that, I would constantly talk down to me, and not just talk down. And I mean like actually insult myself and being angry at myself. I'm glad I don't remember that well what I said to myself back then. But it sucks to know, though. It sucks that most of my childhood I just kind of spent, feeling the pressure and realizing that I always felt alien in a way. I could never feel part of the group. And, I bet there were some guys, some dudes who actually saw me as friends, but because I couldn't see them as friends, I was just kind of assumed everybody saw me as a weirdo, and maybe they did see me as a weirdo, or I don't know, or maybe it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy, which I think it is, of like, so this kid sees you and he thinks you're normal, like just any other human being. But the moment you start acting weird, then they actually think you're weird. So it's kind of like, it's a lose-lose situation. You're screwed from the beginning because you think of yourself that way, and so you act that way, and so that makes other people think of you that way. A person, unless you're wearing weird clothes or something like that, or you look weird, which in general is not really the case. In general, you don't look weird. However, what makes a person look weird is, well, not following the standards of what a normal person does in normal life. Like if you go to a family gathering, like I was talking earlier, normally you go to a group and you start talking, and you just kind of have fun. You start talking about whatever, and if you're doing activities, you go participate in those activities, and yeah, that's a normal thing to do. However, that's not what most of us do. We just kind of stay there, and maybe, well, in my case, since I can communicate now way better, obviously, if every now and then I do communicate with some people. For the most part, though, it's only when I'm approached. For the most part, unless I'm saying hi to a family member, in which case, yeah, technically I was the one to initiate the conversation. However, it's still, the conversation normally doesn't go too far, and I feel like that might be the case for a lot of people too, where like, sure, you're able to go a little deeper in conversation than just a hi and how are you, but there always comes a point where you just kind of don't know what the hell else you are supposed to say. You don't know what else to say, but then another person comes and they start talking about any kind of concept, and it's the most normal thing ever. I feel like and then I feel dumb, because it's like, man, I could be talking about whatever I wanted, but I don't, because I feel like it's just not worth talking about. But then this other guy appears and starts talking about the most stupid shit ever, and the other person eats it up, and even if they don't, they still hear them, because there is respect in there, at least to hear the other person for the most part. So there's still, so even if what the other person is saying is dumb or doesn't make much sense, because they're saying it to them, and because they're, well, in this case, they're family members, they're still gonna give them the attention and hear what they want to say about whatever they're talking about. But if you're like me, the moment you see that the person isn't really into what you're saying, it's like the energy goes out of you. It's like, oh man, so you don't care what I'm talking about. And it might not be the case that the person doesn't care. And maybe it is true. Maybe it is true that the other person doesn't care. But maybe it could be simply that, obviously, since the person is only there listening to what you're saying, obviously they're not gonna have much to say at the beginning. Of course, later on down the line in the conversation, then with some proper context given by you, maybe then they will have something to say. But for the most part, at first, they're not gonna have much, if anything, to say about what you're telling them. I don't know though. Sometimes it's just hard for me to have that in mind, and when I see a person not really fully engaging and showing full attention to what I'm talking about, it's like, it feels like the person just doesn't care. So I just kind of feel discouraged, and I'm like, okay, well, if you don't care, I'm just gonna shut up then. And yeah, I'm just gonna continue. I'm just gonna end my thought where I think what I wanted to say came across, and that's it. And I'm not gonna continue talking anything else. I'm not gonna continue saying anything else. Yeah, and there's also a lot of other stuff. But again, I'm not saying this to get the, oh my god, for real, same. And it might be the case that there's a lot of people who can relate to what I'm saying. And, I do think it's good when people can say that and they feel like, oh, so I'm not alone. In those type of cases, I can see why that's a good thing. But for the most part, I've seen a lot of people just kind of talk about this kind of stuff just to get the, oh my god, same from get the internet approval. Because yeah, we know that a lot of people, not everybody of course, but a lot of people who spend most of their time on the internet is because they're the same kind of people. At least when it comes to like social anxiety, they prefer to just stay home and on their stay home, or they just prefer to stay home, be alone, and maybe interact with other people, but only really online. Anyway, man, that was a bit of a tangent, huh? A small rant about my whole life, about the way I act, and also the internet too, I guess. But yeah, I love the internet though. Like, I feel like sometimes I complain a bit too much about the internet, especially because of the whole addiction thing. But there's a reason why I use the internet so much, and it's because I love it. I don't know. Obviously people can judge you on the internet, and when you do stuff like what I'm doing right now, talking on the internet, actively talking on the internet and putting yourself out there, you're kind of setting yourself out to be judged in multiple ways. But I don't want, but it's different. A lot of people talk big shit on the internet because they know that they're not gonna get repercussions, which I guess that's also partly why some other people just really like the internet, not because they want to get away with saying horrible stuff, but because they just want to be able to say what they want to say, like give their opinion, without having to worry about another person disagreeing and thinking that it's of bad behavior or just not good what you're doing. Like, I swear, some family members still like to treat me like I'm a kid, and to be fair, I guess, I will admit though that sometimes I do think I act like one. Like, yeah, at least to a certain extent there is a reason, so I can't fully blame them, I guess. However, I really wish they wouldn't. Some, a lot of them don't though. Like I'm saying that, but there's always those few that do, right? Now I'm trying to get the, oh my god, same, right? With the, right? But anyway, like, there's a friend from like, friend of my sister, one of my sisters. And like my nephew, who's older than me, and he's actually like a, I would say he's an extrovert, maybe, at least compared to me. I mean, no, no, definitely he's a clown, and I don't mean that to be a dick. I mean, I'm just saying that he is like he likes being the clown in a way. Not always, but I mean, he likes to just clown in many ways. He likes to make fun of others, but not in a mean way, or not really mean way. He's just he's trolling. Like he just likes to troll. He likes the attention too, obviously. But anyway, he brought myself up because the other. So a while ago, maybe about even a year ago. I don't remember how long it was. We were smoking. I was smoking my house. I was smoking in the house with him. I'm just gonna say we're smoking cigarettes. I'm just gonna say that, for the sake of my channel. I'm just gonna say that they were cigarettes, and I was like, yeah, it's been a while, but it wasn't the last time. He asked me, well, he took me and he was talking to other family members. He brought me to he looked at me, he brought me, he was like, hey, look at this guy, look at him, he said my name, him. He also smoked, like that one time we smoked, and I was like, yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember. Like, when was the last time you smoked? It was with me, right? And it was like, no, that wasn't the last time, but it has been a while since the last time I smoked. But then this friend of my sister's, oh, by the way, all my sisters are like way older. Like this lady is like in her 40s to 50s, and she said to me, like, in a really, like, just the way like your aunt would tell a small kid that's bad. She says like, no, that's bad. My name, Mugen. That's bad, Mugen. You shouldn't be doing that. It doesn't make you any less. Doesn't make you any more cool. And my response to that, well, it's not really to be cool. And then he, my nephew said, yeah, see, it's not to be cool. It's because like you like to drink. Oh, like she was drinking some alcohol drink. You like to drink, and it's not because it's cool. You like to drink because you like to drink, and we like to smoke because we like to smoke. Simple as. And I mean, yeah, like he's right. He's totally right about that. But still, though, like that attitude, it's like, yeah, like I get that they mean well. Like generally when they say that kind of stuff, like she meant well. But man, does it feel kind of, I would even go as far as to say that it's humiliating to be treated that way. It's like, man, I mean, I still didn't give her the reason. Like I said, I still responded back to her saying, well, it's not really to be cool. But I didn't respond the way my nephew did, because, I'm just not, and not like him, but he said it more like straight up. But yeah, I mean, it's basically the same idea. Yeah, like he's cool. Although, yeah, he's cool. Just gonna leave it there. He's cool. Yeah, he's cool. He's fine. Yeah. But yeah, I hate that. I hate being like treated like a kid. However, at the same time, like I was saying, sometimes I do act like one though, or I feel like I act like one. Like yesterday in this family gathering, I think I kind of did. I mean, I just kind of acted awkward. I don't know. Like I would constantly just, and I think it's fine to not talk with others, even in family gatherings. I think that's fine. Like if it's not your cup of tea, don't do it. I'm definitely of that mindset, I definitely agree with that. However, another thing is that, every time I would notice that I would just not talk, I would not be talking to anybody, but everybody else would be, which was pretty much the whole time, actually. Like, I'm just saying that every time I started to realize, oh yeah, I'm just kind of standing here talking to nobody, I would always default to going near my dad. I wouldn't just start talking with my dad necessarily, but I would go next to him. It's like just like a little kid scared going next to his dad. Like it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because I do it, and I'm aware I'm doing it, but like I can't help it. Because like what else am I gonna do? I'm not gonna go next to another. At least at the very least, my dad actually kind of he understands. He kind of understands. He's not exactly like me. I mean, he's also not very social, or at least, well, I mean, he's more social than me, but he's not that social either. But I mean, he's definitely not my kind of, and he's not my kind of antisocial. He's just more like, he just likes to be alone, but he's not really. It's not, in his case, it's not so much out of social anxiety. In his case, it's more like he just doesn't want to be bothered, But yeah. But yeah, it is a little embarrassing though, the fact that I am like that, and yeah. So that's the kind of things that make me not like. So it's not really the family. It's not really my family's fault. I mean, it's more than anything, it's just my own. It's my fault. It's my own fault. It's not their fault. That I am like this. But okay, anyway, I think that's enough. That's enough doom posting. I think I'm not gonna. I don't know if I even used that term correctly. It's been since the last time I used that one. It doesn't matter. In fact, I actually don't think I ever used that term. I just kind of heard it being used a couple times. It's enough about just talking bad about myself, or just let's again concentrate on what I'm doing right now. So the drawing is looking pretty good. Maybe okay, I think that's enough. Okay, wait a second, I'm gonna check how long have I been streaming. What did it say? Oh yeah, an hour. Okay, pretty good. Yeah, I plan on streaming for more than an hour today, because it's like way earlier than yesterday, and this time I started way earlier. Yeah, I'm gonna try to continue now. Continue drawing, so just fixing. No. Let's see. Sure, I guess that works. Sure. Now it seems like that. I'm not even gonna fix the little problems. I'm just gonna move on. Alright. Okay. And move to the hand. So like this. Then bam. Bam. Like this. Well, no, actually I'm gonna do this first. Okay. Like this. Like that. Does that look correct? I don't know. I'm gonna check the I think it looks less I don't know how to say it, but it okay. Yeah, no, it looks a bit more stiff. Like the transition is more stiff. I don't know how to say it, but whatever. You'll see what I mean, I guess. like that. Yeah, this one I'm actually gonna fix right now because it looks way too odd. How did I? Okay, yeah. Maybe I could talk about something more interesting and less about me. How did I? Well, it's still about me, but at least it makes more sense for the stream. How did I learn how to draw? Well, you know, I mean, I drew since I was a kid, but I mean, that's pretty much like any other kid. But when did I start to take drawing more seriously? Well, that was around 2013, 2014. Why? Well, because I was, you know, and this might sound a little shocking, but I only really started watching Dragon Ball around that time. Yeah, like I knew about it, of course, and like, you know, my classmates would constantly talk about, you know, Dragon Ball, make Dragon Ball references, or just play like their Dragon Ball characters, doing the moves, doing the Kaioken's, the Kamehamehas, the Super Saiyans, and all that. I know, and you know, sometimes I would, you know, just to fit in or try to fit in, even though, like, you know, I didn't interact much with them. Like, you know, again, I've always been kind of alien in a way, but I still try to fit in somewhat. But I knew nothing about the show, so I would just kind of say the names. Like I would repeat what they said. Like, oh, I would say, like, man, I remember, I don't know what did I say. Oh yeah, okay. So like I did the hand, like I did the sign for the Kamehameha. Like I was doing the, like, put my hands together, put them, you know, behind me, and then in front, like I was doing the Kamehameha. But I said Kaioken. Because again, I didn't know what was what. I didn't know. I knew nothing. Like, you know, I was really young at this point. So, you know, I really knew nothing, and I didn't have the internet. And like I said, I only really had full access to it when I was 11. And I didn't watch Dragon Ball at all. More than anything, because, you know, I, at least looking at it from like an outside perspective without paying much attention to it, I just found it kind of boring. Which I know some people would probably think, man, that's sacrilegious. That's sacrilegious. Like, burn him, call him out, cancel him, and all that. Which, you know, I definitely don't agree with anymore. Now I'm a huge Dragon Ball fan. I definitely am. Waiting on for Daima, by the way. That's gonna be fun. But yeah, at the time I knew nothing, and I found it boring more than anything because it looked old, which, well, it was old, but also simply because it didn't have the same vibes as, well, the cartoons I would watch at the time, like pretty much all the classic Cartoon Network cartoons. You know, obviously your Billy and Mandy, Kids Next Door, there's a lot of them, but you know those kind of shows. Teen Titans was like one of the few shows that was serious that I watched. Because, for example, Samurai Jack I didn't care for, because I also found it boring. I don't know, like anything that was serious or seemed serious to my eyes, I didn't like. Like I really didn't care for seriousness, for serious shows. I just found them boring. I didn't come, like, basically my mentality was like, I don't come here to get serious. I come here to have fun, to have some fun, some mindless. Just have fun, jokes, silliness, weirdness, whatever. Yeah. But Teen Titans was different because, you know, while it did have a lot of serious moments, which still stick out to me, like I still think about it think about them every now and then, especially because, like, for me, since I was so used to shows that weren't serious, you know, again, Teen Titans was like the show, like the one show that I watched that was actually serious from time to time. So, well, in fact, a lot of times it was serious. Like most episodes, while they had a lot of comedy, you know, they still were serious. But I think they really, like I can't explain it, but it was kind of surreal to me, because again, like I was so used to just comedy shows or shows that you were not supposed to take seriously at all, that watching Teen Titans was like the one weird case where that rule just didn't matter to me anymore. I liked the show, I liked the comedy, but I also really liked, like, I was intrigued, and you know, I will admit, you know, at times the show would actually scare me, like the more serious stuff with Slade, and you know, not just that, but like, you know, oh yeah, like the Slade episode where Robin is like having a mental breakdown, like that episode. Like I don't remember my full reaction to it. Of course, it's been years and years since then, but I know that episode like scared the crap out of me. I remember that. Yeah, but like that show was the exception to the rule. But I didn't really care for anime. Like I knew there was a channel where they, you know, aired anime. And oh yeah, speaking of that, like I also didn't watch Pokemon. Only later on did I watch some Pokemon. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I never really. I mean, besides the movies, I remember only really liking like the original Pokemon. Not the one with Misty, not that one. The one that had May was her name. I don't actually remember if it was May her name, but you know, the Mewtwo movie. You know, like from that time, that era. Yeah, that era I liked. I remember that, but yeah, I liked those movies. I like the Mewtwo movie. I like the other movie that actually I don't know. It's been years, but you know, the old movies, the old Pokemon movies. I like them. Those were also serious at times, and you know, again, that was other example of. Well, okay. I mean, I guess other big example of, you know, like me kind of going against my own rules of what I liked and what I didn't like was, well, Harry Potter. You know, Harry Potter. Like I know, especially today, for some reason, a lot of people are just kind of or very iffy on Harry Potter, which I really don't understand, to be honest. I don't think I'll ever understand it. Like, I think it's one of the greatest, you know, movie sagas of all time. I mean, I never read the books. I don't plan to read the books. And I don't mean no hate to the books. I just don't really care. I like the movies, and that's it. I'm just gonna stick with the movies. Never really been a book guy. I don't read much. But yeah. But yeah, I will never yeah, sure, I know about the whole J.K. Rowling thing, like she supposedly, and I say supposedly simply because I just don't know for sure. I really don't know if she really is like a. You know what? I'm actually not gonna talk about it. I don't really come here to talk about controversial topics. I don't really. It's not my style. Just like with VTubers, I don't really come here for that, for controversy. I come here to have fun. So, but anyway, I really like. I mean, I grew up with Harry Potter. Harry Potter was like one of the, like, my childhood. Like, if you ask me, you know, besides cartoon, just most Cartoon Network classics, you know, Harry Potter is definitely my childhood too. And yeah, that's another example of me, like, of young me liking something that was actually serious. You know, it has some comedy, but it still had a lot of serious stuff in it. But I still somewhat liked it, and I mean, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I guess I just really like the fantastical aspect of it, like the magic and all that. So even though, yeah, I mean, I know for a fact that the scary parts really scared me. I didn't care, or I don't know. I guess I kind of liked it. I mean, it's odd because I've never really been one to really like scary stuff. However, I am really intrigued, and I've always been intrigued by scary stuff. Like every now and then, I really do like watching like a scary, like the scary videos, or yeah, every now and then. Not often. I'm not a horror movie kind of guy. Definitely not. I mean, I'm not a movie kind of guy. I mean, yeah, I know that. I know what I just said. That Harry Potter movies are my childhood, but I mean, besides Harry Potter, I don't really watch many other movies. Yeah, in general, it's been a while since the last time I ever watched a movie. In fact, I think the only real movies that I'm gonna ever watch from now on are probably gonna be movies from animes I watch. Like, I think what was the last movie I ever watched? Is it? Now I'm thinking about it. What was the last movie I watched? Oh man. I think... Oh wait, actually I don't know. Oh yeah, I think it's probably... Oh yeah, it's totally Dragon Ball Superhero. Yeah, that's the last ever movie I have watched. And obviously it's an anime movie. And yeah, a Dragon Ball movie. How do I feel about that movie? I think I liked it a lot, actually. I liked it a lot. Like the animation, I mean, the animation was good. I mean, for what it was, I mean, like, it could have looked terrible, and it didn't. It actually, they made it work. Obviously, if you ask me, I still would have preferred 2D animation, like Super Broly. I mean, yeah, like Super Broly. But I mean, they nailed it. I think they nailed it. I mean, there were a couple of shots that looked odd, but for the most part, they very much nailed it, both art-wise and also just animation-wise in general. Like, it was really well animated for a 3D movie. I mean, they did a good job at stylizing pretty much doing what Dragon Ball Fighters does. Like breaking the 3D models to actually fit the Dragon Ball style. Like, they did a good job with that. A really good job with that, actually. So yeah, I think that was a good movie. And I mean, not just because of the animation. I mean, I'm just talking about the animation because that was the most controversial part of the movie. But I mean, like, besides the animation, I just really like the story, or that direction they went with it. And I like the fact that, despite the fact that, yes, of course, at the end, Gohan was the one to win, kind of, because he got the transformation. He got the big transformation. I mean, Piccolo also got one, but obviously the one that stole the spotlight was Gohan, obviously, which is unfair to say the least, because and what I'm trying to get at is that was definitely Piccolo's movie. Like say what you want to say about Gohan, like he looked cool. Like yeah, the form is cool. Like it definitely is cool. Like, even if I do think it's absurd, the fact that I mean I guess coming from the Super manga, which is not anime, but still, if we're going to say that the manga is canon, which I mean, I know there's a whole argument about what is canon and what isn't, and whether you should even use should you even use the term canon for Dragon Ball, considering that they retcon everything and that the manga has a different timeline than the anime. But anyway, like if we're gonna say that the manga is indeed, at least to a certain extent, canon, well, then Gohan is with this beast mode, beast Gohan, or whatever they want to call it, is close or somewhat close to UI Goku. That is wild and absurd. However, I guess, it goes in line with the whole thing about Gohan having the most potential out of every character. It's just that he just doesn't use it because he doesn't like fighting. And even though he has moments throughout the show when he realizes that, it doesn't matter if he doesn't like fighting, he's gonna have to fight, just like when he was a kid, because oh nope. Well, there you go. That was my dad interacting. Nah, it's fine. He was just telling me to eat some crabs or something. I don't know. Nah, he was telling me about the dessert. I didn't eat dessert. I didn't even see it. Somehow I just didn't see it. Doesn't matter though. Wait. So what was I saying? I don't know, something about Gohan. So like, I guess it makes sense. It's consistent with his character. But oh yeah. Like he constantly realizes that he should be training, and he's gonna have to fight despite not liking fighting. Which, see, the thing is, I'm not one of those people who just wants Gohan to suffer or to just turn into Super Saiyan 2 Gohan all over again. I'm not. Am I even a Gohan fan? Well, I like Gohan. I really like quote unquote Teen Gohan, or just young Gohan, Super Saiyan 2. I like it. I think it's pretty cool. Definitely a really cool part in the show. But I mean, I definitely wouldn't say that he's my favorite character. I definitely think Goku is my favorite character, and Vegeta being my second. Which, I mean, Goku is my favorite character for different reasons, and Vegeta, obviously. Like, I'm not expecting Goku, especially Super Goku, to be smart. And the thing is, yeah, I know a lot of people who are Goku fans are really not happy with Super Goku. And I get it. It's a different character. Like, it's almost very much like a different character altogether. While there are some other people who are like super apologists who argue that no, I mean, Goku's always been an idiot, which is still true, somewhat true. However, I definitely don't think it's as black and white as both groups say it. I think it's more like, yeah, I mean, Goku definitely wasn't the smartest ever. However, it is true that he progressed. That is true. He also progressed as a character. And he did mature. Now, the fact that Goku is slightly different in Super is deliberate, though. I do think it's deliberate. It's not just a mistake on the writing. It's simply the fact that they didn't want Goku to be exactly like he was in Z. It's that simple. Super has a different time slot, and it had like a completely different style to Z. I always had that mindset, and I always, like, if somebody asked me, would I recommend Super? I would say yes, but only if you're not expecting it to be like Z. If you're expecting Super, like, yeah, sure, Super is a continuation of the timeline of Z, technically, kind of, but not really. If you really think about it, it really isn't. I mean, if you take into consideration the differences between Super and the end of Z. But if you're coming in to watch Super and expecting it to be like Z, just Z2, well, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. It's not. Not only is the whole tone of the show different, the main character is different. I mean, yeah, there's some aspects of the character that are still the same. He really likes fighting, and he can be selfish. However, for the sake of the kind of show Super is, and what it isn't, they over exaggerate Goku's stupidity and his selfishness for the sake of, well, the plot in general. For the sake of a joke, or just for the sake of, for the plot. Well, again, for the plot, just to have things happen so like the guys can fight other guys. Simple as, like, it's really just that. It's not more complicated than that, and I think a lot of people try to make it more complicated than that, and when it isn't. It's just Toei didn't want Z Goku. They wanted another Goku, and that's what they did. It's that simple. Like, it's a whole different show. Super is just a whole different show with a whole different tone. And if you're expecting Z2 out of Super, then again, you're gonna be sorely disappointed, because that's not what you're gonna get. The only times when you're kind of gonna get that is whenever Goku gets angry, which didn't even happen that often in the show or in the movies. Well, in the movies, that it just didn't happen. Goku in the Battle of Gaza movie, that kind of happened. The whole I will not let you destroy my world. I will not let you destroy my world. And all that. Yeah, sure. Like, that was that one moment, that one kind of Z Goku moment. But I mean, the rest of the movie, that's just new Goku, which is a little dumber, but not because of a writing mistake. It's on purpose. Now, whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's just a whole different argument. Like, I'm not here to argue that people should just accept. Well, I mean, yes and no. What I'm trying to say is, we definitely should expect better writing out of the show. We definitely should. However, better writing out of the show, and we definitely should expect Toei to, at the very least, give more care to the writing and not just have Goku be an idiot in order to have things happen. Not all the time, at least. But the reality of the situation is, that's just what they are doing. That's their take, their current take on the character. If you don't like that, well, that sucks, but that's just how it is. That's just how things are right now. And no matter how many, angry letters you might send to Toei or whatever, that's not gonna change. That's just what they want. This is the Goku they want. The dumb Goku. Dumb Goku. They want dumb Goku. They want, just battle hungry Goku. And it's not to say that Z Goku didn't love fighting. He definitely did. But again, not the same kind of character. Not the same character, and also not the same situation. I mean, Z was just a lot more serious than Super. Even in the Zamasu arc, the Goku Black and Zamasu arc, even that, while it was dark at times, it still wasn't as dark as Z. Now, one of the reasons why that is the case is simply because it has a different the show has a different demographic, and these are different times, unfortunately. It's unfortunate. I do wish we could have given Super a different time slot, and maybe then we could have had at least a slightly more serious show, maybe, but we'll never know. And to live thinking of what couldn't be, well, I think you're just gonna ruin your entertainment. I mean, at that point, just don't watch the show. If you're just gonna be constantly thinking about what could have been done with the show, Either that or turn into one of those what if scenarios channels. See how you go. See how that goes. I mean, you're definitely not gonna have much competition, that's for sure. But yeah. What if Goku was trapped in the time chamber for 1,000 million years and then screwed Vados? I don't know, something like that. Just yeah, try to see how that goes for you, how that plays out. Yeah, looking good. I mean, it's not bad at all. Not bad at all. I definitely don't think. I mean, I didn't have this expectation. I only really wanted to finish the blueprint sketch, the stream, which I already did. You know, I'm thinking at the end of the day, even this more finished version of the drawing is probably not gonna be the final. But I don't know. Maybe I'll get lazy and I'll just call it a day and just say that this is the final version. Maybe, yeah. I do be lazy like that sometimes. Yeah. But anyway, so again, what am I thinking about this show? Now let's bring it back to, well, this show, which I'm drawing, like the characters from a show that I'm drawing, not anything but them. I'm really liking this show. It's definitely gonna be one of those shows that I'm gonna remember like years to come, and it's definitely gonna be a show that I'm gonna miss. Like, I know I'm gonna miss this show for a fact. I'm definitely gonna miss this show, and I think, like I said, unless I might be misremembering, but if I remember correctly, I think I said that if a year goes by and we don't get any information about a season 2 for the show, for Shikanoko Nokonoko Koshitantan, I might just have to pick up the manga, because I think I'm gonna miss this show too much not to do it. I'm not gonna be able to take it. If a year goes by and I don't know anything about the show, anything new, I mean, at least when it comes to the anime, I'm gonna have to just jump on the manga, because I think, I don't know, the show got me. Like, that's all I can say. It got me. And now I can't really stop thinking about it, which is ironic because I haven't talked about it in the whole stream. Well, at all. But no, trust me, I do think about the show a lot now. Especially about these two. Like, I already said this, I'm not really Delulu, or at least not that Delulu, but I definitely do think I ship these two. It's unfortunate that none, at least from what I've seen, none of the reaction channels I've seen are on board with the ship. They're just they're normal. Like, man, it's a real shame that people are normal. I kind of wish they were more like me. But anyway, yeah, I mean, hopefully sometime, maybe, because I know there's some people who always wait till after a show has released the whole 12 episodes, or well, however episodes the show's gonna get. I think 12 probably. I don't know actually. I know there's a lot of reaction channels that always wait till all the episodes are out to watch. I think a lot of people did that with Chainsaw Man. We waited for the 12 episodes to air before reacting. So I think a lot of new reaction channels are gonna appear once the show is done. This show is done too. And hopefully there will be one weirdo, whether it be a girl, or a dude, I don't care, who is also into the ship. I hope so. And if not, hey, I might just you never know. Maybe in the future I could make videos about the show, like breaking it down. And when I say breaking it down, I don't mean like I'm dancing. All right, that was a stupid joke. No, but when I say that I'm gonna be breaking it down, I don't actually mean breaking it down, because a breakdown would be like people properly analyzing a show. I'm not an analyst, and all I can really tell you in a review about a show is purely subjective facts about what I like about the show and how much I ship two characters, or how funny I think a scene was compared to the other. My reviews are mostly gonna be just pure positivity, which is a good thing, I guess. Especially in a sea full of people who just love to compare one show to the other and just say that one is way worse than the other for one or two reasons, or that this scene went on for a little too long. Excuse me, but I mean they were standing right next to the door. How's it possible? Bro, it's a comedy show. Shut up. All right, shut up. I don't care. Yeah, like I'm not gonna make those kind of. I'm not really that kind of person. I come here to have fun. All right, not to. I mean, if I'm gonna complain about something, it's gonna be about other people complaining, or people just being weird. And I don't mean weird like me being a shipper, or just because I watch lewd pictures of anime characters. No, that's not what it is. I'm just gonna, if I ever complain about something or someone, it's gonna be people being assholes online. Or maybe not. Maybe I won't even do that. I'm just gonna stay positive. And I mean, that's the whole point. I just wanna have fun. And I want to have fun with you guys. Yeah. I come here to have fun, be relaxed, because, I don't have a lot of fun in general with other people. So, to have a proper fan base, a whole community would be great. And that's what I want. I always wanted a community, because I can just have fun with a lot of people, and whatever opinion they have of me, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, there's still gonna be people who like me, and they're gonna listen to me, and even if they don't agree with me fully, they're still gonna at the very least see what I'm trying to say, hopefully. Yeah, I just want a community. I want to form a whole community. What would I describe a community I like? Well, maybe just one that likes anime in general, that is okay, or directly likes shipping. I'm not okay, don't get me wrong, I'm not someone who considers themselves a shipper, yes, I guess I am a shipper, but what I'm trying to say is that my life doesn't revolve around shipping. Just because my channel started with me drawing a sudden OTP from a comedy anime of the season doesn't mean I'm gonna dedicate my channel to that. No, this is just the first idea I had of how to start streaming and getting accustomed to just talking to an audience which doesn't actually exist yet, but I mean, hopefully it's gonna exist at some point if I continue doing this. Just getting comfortable, being able to talk to myself without having the pressure of being fully entertaining the whole time, or just being funny the whole time, or putting on a facade, putting on a character. I don't have a problem with putting on a character or being the clown every now and then. I mean, that's the whole point of having fun too. However, I I can't just be that the whole time. I also like to just talk like what these streams have been, but in the future, yeah, sure, maybe in the future I'll have a lot more of those clown moments that you see from clip channels, maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. I may not be able to just make any kind of funny moment at any point, in which case, and if I do get a fan base, it's just gonna be a whole bunch of people who just want to hear another person talk about concepts that don't matter at all, but without any kind of strong opinion, without trying to be an asshole to anybody. I just want to give my honest, true opinion. I'm not here to be divisive. However, if I am divisive, I am gonna be divisive. I'm not gonna back down on that. But I don't come here to bring trouble, or to be controversial. But if I have to be controversial at some point, then I will. If I'm forced to for some reason, I don't know why. But let's say I did. I might just do it. I don't know. I don't care. But I come here to have fun, first and foremost, and that's what you should be doing too. Have fun. Anyway, I think I haven't drawn anything. I'm just gonna be talking the whole time. Yeah, I'm just gonna change that to this, because I think the stream is over. It's already been way longer than an hour. I didn't know at first how much I wanted to stream, but I definitely knew that at least an hour was what I wanted, what I was aiming at. So yeah, I think I did pretty good. OBS says I haven't dropped any frames, and stream health is healthy, so yeah, apparently we're pretty good. There's no viewers, and there hasn't been any viewers the whole stream, but that's fine. I don't mind that, to be honest. I just like to be able to just, honestly, that's way better. The moment I start seeing numbers, I know that's gonna get to my head at some point, and I know it's gonna be a little weird, and I don't exactly know how I'm gonna react. I don't know if I'm gonna be, I know what I should do. I know that I should just stay the same, in a way. Always try to be better, but like improve, be a better entertainer, somewhat, have better production in some ways. But I also, like I said before, I don't want to feel the pressure of being a good entertainer. I don't want to have the pressure of trying to be funny all the time, be the clown all the time, have a funny voice, have a hot voice, I don't know, whatever. I just want to be me, but with other people, because I'm never me with other people. So I would like to be me with you. That was a little corny, I guess, but that was the truth. So yeah. Anyway, hope you had fun. The person from the future who might be watching this, I hope you have a great day, or a good day, good morning, or good night. Yeah, if you just want to stay here and hang out, have fun, do it. It doesn't matter what others say at the end of the day. If you know what you're doing is right, then just do it. I know there's cases where that might not necessarily be true, but the majority of cases it is true. The majority of cases it's completely fine to just do what you want to do. And it's taken me a long time to really understand this. And to really understand this, because I've heard that since I was a little kid. I've known that since I was a kid. But only recently has it really started to make sense to me. And I hope it makes sense to you. And maybe it already does. And if so, that's great. That's awesome. I hope you do great. I hope you have been doing great. Also, don't chase happenings like that. I guess if I wanted to give a certain little I'm gonna say this again in other streams, but don't chase happiness. Just do what makes you happy. What I'm trying to say is, don't try to be happy, just be happy. Okay, and well, how I'm gonna be happy? Well, just do what you want to do. Now, of course, sometimes what you want to do may not be something that actually makes you happy. Sometimes what you want to do is actually maybe the opposite, but I think you should be able to tell. If you look at yourself from a more, I guess, if you critical point of view, if you start to think about the things you do and what you don't do, if you have enough logic, you should be able to tell if what you want to do is actually useful, or if it's just something that you want to do, but in reality it's hurting you. I think you should be able to tell. I don't think I or any other person should tell you what is correct and what isn't. I think at the end of the day, you really are the person who knows. And anyway, at the end of the day, your body is your body. If you want to do something bad to it, well, whatever that is, well, it's really up to you. I can't stop you. But yeah, I know this got a little serious, very serious all of a sudden. But what I'm trying to say is, seriously, just do whatever you want. Try to be the best. Try to be the best you want, and try not to chase happiness. Just do what you want to do, man. Because if you chase happiness, guess what? You're never gonna be happy. Because just like sadness, happiness is temporary. Even if you do find happiness, it's gonna go away at some point, and then how are you gonna feel? Terrible, right? So really, just live life. Live life however you want to feel it. A lot of people would probably tell me that I'm not living life because I don't spend it with other people, because I spend all day looking at a computer screen. And that may be true, maybe they are right, but you know what, this life is mine. I get to say what I do. I know what is right and what isn't. I know that I probably shouldn't. I know that I shouldn't stay so long looking at a computer. But you know what I also know? I also know that I don't actually need other people. If I really want to hang out with another person, I will. But if I don't feel like it, if for a whole year I don't feel like it, then I'm not gonna hang out with anybody for a whole year. I mean, well, in reality, that's not true. I'm gonna have to, for a variety of reasons. But not out of my own, not because I want it. Do what you want to do. You should be able to tell what is good and what isn't. And if you know that what you're doing is bad, don't feel too bad about it, though. There's a lot of things that I do that I know that I shouldn't do, that I still continue doing, despite knowing that I shouldn't. But you know what? As long as you don't die, it doesn't matter. It's temporary too. Whatever it is you're doing to yourself that is bad, it's also temporary. Well, maybe, right? Maybe you just said to yourself, well, maybe it is temporary, but what if I continue to do the same thing for my whole life, and then I end up alone or just hurting myself? Well, that's more like just something you just came out of my mind, right? What I just said. But maybe someone agreed with me with what I just said. If that is the case, then you have to realize that those are just the insecurities that come out of, well, everyone who doesn't like what you're doing, doesn't like what they're doing, or doesn't like what other people are telling them to do, how they should be doing. I think what you should do is what you want to do, and that's it. Obviously, also make money. Now you can think whatever you want about money, but the truth is we need money. So find a way to make money. Like I'm doing. I'm trying to find ways to make money so that I can do what I really want to do, which is sing, draw, stream, have a community, be known, have a voice, and just be myself with people who don't know me, because people who do know me don't really know me, and they probably never will. But to be honest, that's fine by me. There's a few people I know in real life who kinda know me, and they're not family members, that's for sure. But anyway, just don't chase happiness. Just live. Do what you want to do. As long as and try to, whatever it is you do, even the stuff that it makes you happy. Try to, not just do that. Try to do multiple things. Everything that is okay. I don't actually know what the expression is, but don't just do one thing too much. Do lots of things. Doing one thing too much, consuming one thing too much is gonna do you bad, including water. Water, which is like technically the most safe and healthy thing you could consume. If you consume it too much, it's still gonna do you bad. For multiple reasons, it's gonna increase your weight and all other things. But yeah, anyway, have a good one. We're almost exactly at the 2-hour mark. We're like 2 minutes away from that, but I'm not really aiming for that. So or maybe I should. You know what? Maybe I could. Nah, okay, no. I'm not going to. Whatever. I hope you had a fun time here. If you're even listening to this part of the stream, you probably aren't. But if you are, you're great. You're awesome. And fuck what your parents tell you. I mean, unless of course what they're saying is good, in which case, then no. Fuck what I said. But if your parents are being negative about what you do or what you like to do, fuck them. Seriously, fuck them. Just do what you want to do. Have fun, man. Have fun. Yeah. Have a good day or night or whatever, bruh.